So good morning everyone. My name is Lalit Soni and I welcome you all in this live session by Drishti IAS. So it was a long weekend and we have celebrated our Republic Day as well. So after that we will be taking all those newspapers which we have missed so far, that is from your 25th of January to 29th of January, that is today. So we will talk about all the important articles from the Indian Express when we are talking about these particular dates. Okay. So we will start with the practice question which was given to you in the last class, and then we will move forward with the important articles, that is Arambai Tagore, that is a militant group, or you can say a group of a Methi community in Manipur. Okay, so we'll start with their discussion, and then there are other Archaeological Survey of India has said something about Gyanvapi. They have given a report about the you can say historical interpretation of the site, that this site belongs to a particular community or not. So we'll talk about that Gyanvapi issue, and then banning Sepinda marriages. Okay, so this is the particular type of marriages which has been in their you can say our Hindu Marriage Act. So they has been banned, they were banned in the law as well, and then now High Court has also reiterated that it is banned in India. So we'll talk about what kind of marriages are that and why they are banned. Okay, then Kunbi OBC status to Marathas. So Marathas will be getting their OBC status, that is what their CM has said. So we'll talk about that and why the other OBCs, or you can say other OBC communities present in the Maharashtra, are objecting to it, or they are going for some kind of protest against it. Okay, and then we'll go through some international affairs, and then there is one or two articles for your own read, which are quite simple articles. Okay, which will give you better understanding of particular things, or you can extract some facts out of that. Okay, and then we'll have the practice question for the next session. So let's see. There were two questions in the last session I have given you for practice. That was the term dragon baby has been in news recently. So it is a baby born in a year associated with dragon. Then name of a submarine recently deployed by China, a mythical creature in Chinese folklore, a name of security operation in Red Sea. So basically when we are talking about these dragon babies, these babies are basically all those babies which are born in a particular year which is associated with a dragon. Okay, so what happens in China, every year is associated with some kind of spirit animal. Okay, so they are saying that if any particular person is being born in that particular year, their traits are kind of associated with these animals. Okay, so when we are talking about dragon, so they have this mythologically you can say understanding, or you can say their belief that those people who are born in dragon year brings prosperity. Okay, so that is why these dragon babies are important, and they are baby born in a year associated with the dragons. And why we have discussed this particular thing was because China's population was on the declining trend, and now we are saying that 2024 is a dragon year. Okay, so because of this dragon year, couples might go for more procreation. They will want their children to born in this particular region. So there are chances that this downward trends in population might go or might see some kind of uptake. Okay, so that is about a dragon baby, that is a baby born in a year associated with dragon. Okay, now second question was given to you that related to your Bharat Ratna. Okay, so it was given to Karpuri Thakur, ex CM of Bihar, okay, for his you can say social welfare work, etc. Okay, what is the maximum number of Bharat Ratna awards that can be given in a particular year? We have seen that particular thing. Okay, we have talked about some 2 or 3 specifics of Bharat Ratna. So we know that answer would be C, that is 3. Okay, so let's see the explanation here. You can see Bharat Ratna is the highest civilian award of the country, and it is awarded in recognition of exceptional service and performance of the highest order in any field of human endeavor. Okay, it is treated on the different footing from the Padma Awards. These Padma Awards has also been announced on Republic Day. Okay, so we'll be talking about that, or you can give a passing reference to that. The recommendation of that Bharat Ratna are made by Prime Minister to President of India, and President of India is the authority to give that particular award. The number of Bharat Ratna award restricted to a maximum number of 3 in a particular year. Okay, so that is about Bharat Ratna. That can be important for your prelims as well. Okay, now Padma Awards 2024 has been announced. Okay, so they are given on 26th of January now. So when we are talking about Padma Awards, they are the one of the highest civilian awards of the country, are conferred in 3 categories, that is Padma Vibhushan, Padma Bhushan and Padma Shri. Okay, these three awards are given in social service and different fields also. Okay, and depending on the degree of service, these are provided, but they are considered highest civilian awards in the country. And when we are talking about Bharat Ratna is also a civilian award of higher order. Okay, but they are on the different footings. Okay, so that is about your Padma awards. Here you can see 5 Padma Vibhushan award has been given this time. Miss Vaijantimana Bali, she is from art field and she belongs to Tamil Nadu. Then Shri Chiranjeevi, you know that he is an actor in the, you can say, South Indian film industry. Okay, so he has been awarded with that Padma Vibhushan. And then Shri M Venkaya Naidu. Okay, he is a popular figure, we know that. And then Shri Bindeshwar Pathak, he is from Bihar. He has been given Padma Vibhushan posthumously. And then Miss Padma Subramaniam. Okay, so all these people has been awarded Padma Vibhushan. And when we are talking about Bharat Ratna, it has been given to Mr. Karpuri Thakur from Bihar. Okay, so that is important factual knowledge for you. Now moving further, let's start with the Republic Day, little bit discussion of the past, and then we will be coming to our articles. Okay, so we have celebrated our Republic Day, and that is we all know that why it is important for us. There is no need to go into discussion of that. There was this article. Okay, so we'll be talking about that, from Dominion to Republic. So we know that we got independence on 15th of August 1947, but still afterwards we were having this status of a dominion. Okay, that till we made our own constitution, will be dominion of British Empire. Okay, so after that we had this constitution forming assembly. Okay, drafting committees were there, and they have come up with the constitution, and we have adopted our constitution on 26th of January 1950. And from that particular day, we have said that we are sovereign nation. There won't be any kind of authority above our own nation. So here this dominion status was gone, and now Bharat became a full-fledged sovereign, you can say, country. Okay, sovereign nation. So from there we started celebrating our Republic Day, that is 26th of January 1950. Now there are few dates which are important. Why this particular date was chosen 26th of January? Because somewhere we have celebrated in the past as well that this something related to Purna Swaraj also. Okay, so considering that there was particular specific significance attached to that particular date, so that is your homework to go and check why we are celebrating, or why did we choose this particular date to adopt the constitution. Okay, now moving further, here you can say, as I told you, from dominion to republic, that is what was happening. When we were dominion, there was this Government of India Act 1935 on which India was governed, and after that we had our own constitution, that is Constitution of India. Okay, so after 26th of January 1950 we had our own constitution, and our governance or our administration system would be dependent on the Constitution of India. Okay, then there is this thing about ceremonial parades. Okay, so we know that on the Purana Killa, Lal Killa, we have this parade. Okay, the first parade was happened, and the then President, our Rajendra Prasad ji, was the person who took the parade over there. So what was the significance of that parade? Earlier, when we were under the British Empire, this parade was a status, or you can say show of power. Okay, that we are the one who is ruling this country. Okay, and to show the Indians as well as the other people or other countries of the world. Okay, so they used to show their show of power was there. And when we adopted our own constitution, when we became sovereign nation, we have adopted that particular parade too. Okay, be it consider it British legacy only, but we have adopted to that, and with time we have made some changes. The kind of parade happens in India, it you can say amazing, you can say. Okay, so we have also gone for the show of power, and that is not for the purpose of any military action or something, but the thing is that is to show that how India has his journey, our journey from being a colony, then dominion status, and then to independent country. Okay, so here you can see that in our parade we have a show of power, we have a show of military. This time we have gone for the gender equality, gender inclusion also. Then there various art and culture from various part of the countries are also depicted over there. So all these things, for all these things becomes, this ceremonial parade becomes important for us. When we are talking about this parade, there were various tableau which has been coming from the various institutions, various states. So they have given, or they have portrayed some kind of element of their art and culture. Or when we are talking about institution, let's say ISRO, they have talked about their own achievement in a way. So those tableau becomes important for your exam point of view as well, because they can ask a question from that as well. Okay, because this ISRO's tableau was in news because of the gender equality or gender empowerment, you can say, woman empowerment, you can say. So that is why that becomes even important. So my suggestion for you would be to go and watch the parade, make note out of all the tableaus from that, okay, and the speech, okay. All these things would be important. After that, you can say, but a job not done yet. So when we are talking about job not done yet, means here that our forefathers, or you can say Baba Saheb Ambedkar, he has said that we are going for the equality in the political structure. Okay, our constitution gives you equality. Okay, but we know that there is inequality in the social and economic strata. So we have to make sure that that inequality or that gap is also closing very soon. Otherwise, the political equality which is given to the people of India, or the citizens of India, will be of no use. Okay. So now the thing is, when we are talking about equality, there should be political, economical and social equality. So with Constitution of India, we have this political equality because every citizen of India is same, or when we are talking about the law, every citizen is being same in the eyes of law. Okay. But when we are talking about social and economic inequality, when we are talking about the social and economical equality, we have gaps in that. So we have to make sure we work on that as a state, as a nation, as a citizen. We should move forward with the aim that we should close that gap so that we can enjoy the equality in the real sense. Okay. So that is about that job we have to do yet. Okay. So that is about this article. Now moving further, we will be seeing this issue of Gyan Vapi. I have taken this in the art and culture sector section because there are certain things which will be important for my art and culture as well. Other than that, also this becomes an issue of polity as well, because there is this particular act. Okay. That is Places of Worship Act 1991. Okay, so that is why it becomes important for your GS1 as well as GS2 point of view. Okay, so now let's see. So there was this issue related to Gyan Vapi Mosque. Okay, Hindu community or the litigants has contended that this is a place, earlier there was a Hindu temple, and after demolishing that structure, they have raised this Gyan Vapi Mosque in the era of, you can say, reign of Aurangzeb. Okay. So that was the issue, and then after that, the court has said that you have to go for a survey. Archaeological Survey of India has gone for the survey, and they have given a particular report, on the basis of which we will be talking in that particular article. Okay. So here you can say the legal test in the civil court in Varanasi and the Supreme Court revolves around the title suit concerning Kashi Vishwanath Gyan Vapi Mosque disputed site. Okay. So this Gyan Vapi Mosque is in the vicinity of Kashi Vishwanath temple, and there are claims that this particular place of mosque is also on the land of Hindu temple, or you can say there was some kind of Hindu structure over there. Okay. So that is why it was a disputed site, and now court has said that Archaeological Survey of India has to submit a report to, on the character of that particular site. Okay. So the Places of Worship Act 1991 established a constitutional bar on title suits for places of worship except one at Ayodhya. So when we are talking about this particular act, this act says that after our independence, or you can say 15th of August 1947, we cannot change the character of a particular place of worship. If it was a mosque on the date of independence, or you can say 15th of August 1947, it will stay as a mosque. Okay. And if it was a temple, it will stay as a temple, except for Ayodhya, because that at that particular point of time, that was a disputed issue. Okay. So that is what that 1991 act says. Okay. In the further, Supreme Court said that no doubt we cannot convert or we cannot change the status, but we can very well determine the status. Okay. So now question is on determining the status of that particular site, because there are people who are saying that this is a Hindu site, and there are people who are saying that this is a Gyan Vapi Mosque. So basically you can say character of that particular religious site or the place of worship is in question, and that is why Supreme Court is hearing this issue, and they have directed it back to the Varanasi court, and they have said that to go for some kind of survey by Archaeological Survey of India. Okay. When we are talking about this particular act, that is Place of Worship 1991 Act, section 3 and 4 of the act maintains the religious character of a place as it was on 15th of August 1947 and prohibit conversion into a place of different denomination. So they say that you cannot change the character or the nature of that particular site, or you can say denomination of that particular site. Okay. The Supreme Court in May 2022 observed that the determining the nature of religious place is not barred by the 1991 law. They have said that changing the nature is barred by the law, but determining the nature is not been barred by the law. Okay. So we can very well determine the nature. The Supreme Court is yet to hear the final arguments to decide whether 1991 Act is prohibiting filing of such title suits or not. Okay. So that is one thing, that particular issue, that you can you file that suit related to the title itself or not, that is also pending in the Supreme Court. Okay. Now moving further, when we are talking about what Archaeological Survey of India has said. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, so now coming to the report which has been submitted by the Archaeological Survey of India. Okay, so here you can say Archaeological Survey of India ASI conducted a scientific survey of the Gyanvapi Mosque complex in Varanasi and directed by the Varanasi District Court in July 2023. So now this was the time when Varanasi District Court has said that you have to go for a scientific survey, and now ASI's conclusion is that a Hindu temple existed at the site before the construction of Gyanvapi Mosque. Okay, so they have said that there was the Hindu structure. They did not say that what kind of structure was it, but there was certain Hindu structure was there. Okay, so now what led you to this conclusion? Okay, so Hindu litigants claimed the mosque was built on the site of a Kashi Vishwanath temple after its destruction in 17th century by Aurangzeb. Okay, so during the reign of Aurangzeb, various temples were distorted. Okay, so that was one of the temple, that is Kashi Vishwanath temple. Okay, the parts of it were modified and reused in the mosque. Some walls, some inscriptions were used in the mosque. Okay, basis of now when we are talking about the Archaeological Survey of India's report, there are architectural features which has been coming forward. That is, evidence includes decorated moldings, entrance gates, sculptures of the Hindu deities, indicating the western walls is remaining part of the Hindu temple. So all these things, other than that, when we are talking about the details of the report, you will find out that there was various Sivlinga was found, some sculptures of Vishnu, Krishna has been found, there were some terracotta figurines were found. So all these things indicates that there was some kind of Hindu temple or structure was there. Okay, there has been a reuse of pillar. The pillars from the earlier temple were reused in the cellars and with inscriptions indicating the origin from the pre-existing Hindu temple. So when we are talking about these pillars had some kind of inscriptions, and those inscriptions says that it was a Hindu temple. Okay, now moving further, these inscription, a total of 34 inscription has been found, and in scripts like Devanagari, Grantha, Telugu, Kannada reused in the during the repair of the mosque, suggesting the destruction of the earlier structures. Okay, object recovered were various objects was there, including inscriptions, sculptures, coin, architectural fragments, then pottery and other items made of terracotta, stone, metals and glassware were identified during the survey. So in the survey they have found all these things, on the basis of which they are saying that there was a Hindu temple. And now what happened after the survey? So the recent ASI report on the Gyanvapi Mosque complex suggests that existence of a Hindu temple before the mosque. However, it is considered expert evidence subjected to court scrutiny. Okay, so now this report will be submitted to court. and now court will decide, court will, you can say, scrutinize the report, and they will consider it not, that is up to the court. Okay, because when we are talking about that Ram Janmabhoomi issue as well, they have also asked for the archaeological survey of India's report, but they did not consider it for some reasons. Okay, so that is why if they want to consider it or not, that is up to the court. They will scrutinize the report. Okay, the court will need to determine the reliability of the ASI report. They will check the reliability of that particular report and assesses what the existence of Hindu temple means for the religious character of a mosque on the August 15th, 1947. That whatever existence of this particular temple will mean that or what effect it will have on the nature of that place of worship. Okay. A similar ASI report in the Babri Masjid Ram Janmabhoomi suit 2003 was deemed inconclusive by the Supreme Court in November 2019 judgment. Okay, so as I told you, they have found it inconclusive. Okay, the report suggests that a Hindu religious origin, but did not conclusively address whether a Hindu temple had been demolished for the mosque or not. Okay, so in that particular report related to Ram Janmabhoomi, they have said that no doubt there was a Hindu structure, but it does not say that that structure was demolished by the people for the raising that particular mosque. Okay, so considering all these phenomena, or you can say all these elements of that particular report, the court will decide that how reliable that report is, and on the basis of which how it will impact the nature of place of worship of Gyanvapi mosque, they will decide. That will be decided by the court. Okay, so that is the issue. We have discussed it in detail. Now you have to remember few historical point as well, that is related to your Aurangzeb's reign, and then there are some art and culture related issues, that is we have found some inscriptions etc. over there, and we have found inscription in various languages, and we have talked about those languages as well. Even in Kannada we have found that inscription in that particular site. Okay, so that is important for you. Now moving further, Sindh government relents on Maratha quota and decides to expand Kunbi OBC status. So now the thing is, when we are talking about this Maratha quota, after this caste census that has happened in Bihar, there was demand of caste census, and Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, they have said that they are also considering it. And after that, there was this thing that Marathas demand for OBC status, that is a long pending demand that has come forward many times. Okay, so recently Manoj Jairange Patil, he has gone for hunger strikes etc. And now CM of Maharashtra has said that they will be considering this OBC status for Maratha community as well. So now what are the issues related to it? We will talk about that. Okay, in that regard, I understand that you have idea about Indira Sahani judgment. Okay, this is the case which has, you know, created a cap of 50% on reservation. Okay, the maximum of 50% reservation, or you cannot go beyond this particular ceiling. That is what has been called said by Supreme Court in that particular judgment. So that becomes important. Other than that, Mandal Commission becomes important. Okay, when we are talking about OBC reservation etc. So I hope these static portions are clear. Now let's coming back to this particular point. Maratha community awaits finalization of rules on Maratha reservation in Maharashtra. So they have said that they will be going for it, and the finalization of these rules will be you know, somewhere in the February or something. Okay, so that is what has been said by the government. The concern raising among other backward classes. So whatever existing OBCs are there, they are having some concerns related to it, because now they are saying that we have a share in pie. Let's say if this is the pie of reservation or the quota, you can say the OBCs had 27%. Okay, earlier this was for existing OBCs. Now they are saying that they will be including Marathas in that as well. So now the share of each person will get reduced. Okay, each community or each section will get reduced, and that is the concern of the existing OBC in that particular community. Okay, so concern arise among other backward class communities about potential impact on the 27% reservation. OBC advocates for the separate reservation for Marathas without reducing their own share. They are saying that if you want to give the reservation to Marathas, you can give it, but you have to give some extra reservation and not from that 27% of the reservation which they have for themselves. Okay, reservation formulations. So proposed formulation allows Maratha to claim reservation under 27% that is set aside for the OBC. Okay, so as I told you, they will be getting out of this 27%, and fear among OBCs that claimants for OBC reservation seats, job, education institution and the local civil bodies will be raised because of the Marathas, and Maratha is you can say a dominating community in Maharashtra. So they are saying that other sections are fearful that they will dominate the political or the education sphere or the job. Okay, so that is why these fears are there. Now Kunbi certificates and OBC status. So when we are talking about these Kunbis, so basically you can say that these are primarily farmers. Okay, so Kunbis are primarily farmers in Vidarbha and northern Maharashtra have Kunbi certificates. Okay, and related to that they have OBC status. Okay, now many Marathas in Marathwada and the western Maharashtra lack these Kunbi certificates, making them ineligible for the OBC reservation. Okay, so now they are saying that Deputy Chief Minister has said that they will ease the norm to get the Kunbi certificates for Marathas. Okay, now OBC is concerned and the political actions, Maratha inclusion as Kunbis may lead to political dominance in the local civic bodies affecting the OBC representation. As I told you, since Marathas are dominant community over there, so there are chances that these other OBCs can get threatened or feel threatened that they will take dominant positions in the civic bodies and the job opportunities, etc. Okay, so that is about the Maratha reservation. This is the important issue related to it and why OBCs are now going for the protest over there. Okay, now moving further, why Delhi High Court reaffirmed the ban on Sepinda marriages. Okay, so when we are talking about this Sepinda marriages, you can say these are the marriages among there are some customs which allowed Sepinda marriages. Okay, and but when we are talking about Hindu Marriage Act, it does not allow it. We will talk about that what Sepinda marriages are. Okay, so Delhi High Court last week rejected a challenge to the constitutionality of the section 5 of the Hindu Marriage Act 1955. So now you don't have to remember this section. Okay, and if you remember and write it in your mains examination, that will definitely give you extra marks, but if you can't remember, that's all right. Okay, which prohibits marriage between two Hindus if they are Sepindas of each other. Okay, Sepinda means related to each other, and to what degree we will talk about that later. Okay, so when we are talking about Sepindas, it means that they are related by blood. Okay, some way. Okay, but to what degree we will be discussing in the further in the article. Unless the custom or uses governing each of them permits the marriage between the two. Okay, there is one exception, that is related to your customs. So there are various tribal communities or various communities in which there is a established customs to go for such marriage. Okay, so in that condition it is allowed, other than that it is not allowed. Okay, so if the choice of a partner in a marriage is left unregulated, incestuous relations may gain legitimacy. So that is the issue behind it. Okay, so if you give the, you can say, liberty of marriage or choosing the partners, so, and if we are talking about the Sepinda marriages, so there are chances that these incest relations might increase in the society. Okay, or they might get the legitimacy. Okay, so now what is this Sepinda marriages? Okay, a Sepinda marriage is the one between individuals who are related to each other within certain degree of closeness. Okay, so when we are talking about this closeness, degree of closeness, here you can see, let's say this is the individual. Okay, so let's say there is some individual, that is A. Okay, so when we are talking about Sepinda marriages, this A cannot marry to his own siblings. Okay, so that is one thing, that is, you can say, first generation, their own generation they cannot marry. Okay, then they cannot marry their parents or someone from this particular generation. Okay, let's say uncle, aunts. Okay, now their grandparents or someone from this particular you can say generation. So there are second and third generation. So when we are talking about from your mother's side, a person from your mother's side cannot marry for these three generations, or the people from these three generations, their own siblings, let's say brother or sister, then parents, that is mother, father, and let's say uncle, aunt, and then grandparents, and someone in that particular generation. Okay, so that is from the mother side. When we are talking about father's side, these 3 generations will convert into 5 generations. Okay, so now that person cannot marry to your, or you can say anyone from the lineage of this particular tree. Okay, so when we are talking about these 3 generations, anyone, there is this another, let's say he has a brother. Okay, and now there is the lineage of this particular person, you cannot marry to in that lineage as well. Okay, so that is the funda behind Sepinda marriages. Okay, when we are talking about from the father side, you cannot marry in relationship of 5 generations. Okay, from grandparents and then their parents. Okay, so here it is clear that when we are talking about mother's side, okay, so you cannot marry in the generation of three generations and the people in that particular tree. Okay, and then when we are talking about father side, you cannot marry to 5 generations of that particular tree. Okay, so that is Sepinda marriages. Here you can see two people or two persons are said to be Sepindas of each other if one is a lineal ascendant of a other person within the limits of Sepinda relations, or if they have a common lineal ascendant who is within the limit of Sepinda relation with reference to each of them. So here you can say that, however, when we are talking about this lineal ascendant, or you can say the family tree, you cannot marry a person from your own family tree when we are talking about mother side for the 3 generations, and when we are talking about father side for 5 generations. Okay, so these are basically your Sepinda marriages. Okay, are there any exceptions or prohibition? As I told you, if there is a custom which is allowing it in some kind of tribal communities, if there are customs and that customs are established and they are allowing it, so that is that can be done. But the thing is, sometimes it cannot go against the public policy. Okay, so that is there is some restrictions also given in that regard. Okay, now second thing is that custom should be continuous, there should not be any kind of discontinuity in the custom. Okay, so if that somehow it is considered that custom is not compulsory, or that custom is not the essential part of the practice, okay, in that case also these marriages are not allowed. Okay, so why this issue has been arose? Because there was some people who were married, and then the husband said that particular person or the wife, the spouse, is related to him in certain way, and that is why that marriage is void. Okay, so that spouse has gone to the court and she has said that I have this right to equality, etc., and she has made her case in the court, and court said that you do not have the conclusive evidence to say that there is the custom, or you can say anything related to your question of right is there. So that is why that ban is not been uplifted, it is yet there. When we are talking about Hindu Marriage Act, section 5 does not allow Sepinda marriages, and that position stays. Okay, when we are talking about the other countries, when we are talking about European countries, there are less stringent rules. When we are talking about in comparison to India, they have you can say some leniency over there. When we are talking about France, crime of incest was abolished in France, and then when we are talking about Portuguese laws, it does not criminalize incest. Okay, then when we are talking about Italian, incest is the crime only if it cause a public scandal. Okay, so if it is in the public scandal, then it is a crime, otherwise it is not. And when we are talking about USA, it is banned in all 50 states. Okay, though the when we are talking about consensual relations between incest, they are allowed in 2 states, that is New Jersey and Rhode Island. Okay, so we have seen that why these Sepinda marriages are not allowed, and to what degree they are not allowed, and what High Court has said that or how they have reiterated that section 5 of the Hindu Marriage Act is constitutional and valid. Okay, now moving further. So for your international relation part, most of the things are same. There is not much changes. Okay, if there is some factual thing, we will be discussing here. Here you can say there is a drone strike kills 3 US soldiers in Jordan. White House blames Iran-backed troops. Okay, so these things has been happening for a past few weeks or months, you can say. Okay, so this is the spillover effect of Gaza area and Gaza war. Okay, so now it is spreading in the nearby area. Earlier Jordan was not arena, now Jordan is also an arena of that particular war. Okay, so that is another thing. These Iran backed groups, or you can say there are various Houthi rebels etc., they are also working in that direction when we are talking about Red Sea. Okay, so all these things are part of your, you can say, Gaza spillover effect. So that we have already discussed many times. Okay, this is just one incident wherein 3 US you can say soldiers were killed in Jordan. Okay, now here you can say some not happy China ministers veiled attack on India over Nepal ties. Okay, so in the in last month we have read that Jaishankar has made a visit to Nepal. So our foreign external affairs minister has gone to Nepal, and we have seen some kind of positive interaction over there. After that, now the Chinese minister has said that some people are not happy because of the cooperation between China and Nepal. So that statement was targeted to India. Okay, when we are talking about China, China is trying to get you know, some kind of points in the Indian neighborhood. Okay, so that they can create or build some kind of pressure on Indian foreign policy. Okay, so but that is just you can say gameplay. Okay, so that is not an important issue for us right now. Then days after Macron visit to India, Xi offers to boost ties with Paris. As I told you, China is trying to get some points here and there. Okay, so recently when we talked about the 26th January or our Republic Day, so chief guest was France President Emmanuel Macron. Okay, so when he visited India, we know that it is the 25th anniversary of our strategic partnership, and just after that even Chinese president has offered some kind of cooperation or some kind of boosting in ties with France. Okay, so that is another thing which has happened recently. Okay, other than that, all these things are same. Russia-Ukraine war is still going on. Okay, things are happening over there. And now moving further, we'll have some articles that is related to your art and culture, that is Rajon ki Bawli. Okay, so Bawli or Bawdis, these are the, you can say, stepped walls. Okay, wherein water was stored. Okay, source of water can be natural or otherwise artificial or from the rains, etc. Okay, so when we are talking about this Rajon ki Bawdi, okay, this is from the 16th century structure, archaeological structure. This is in the Mahroli area. Okay, there is this Adham Khan's tomb, and in the vicinity of that we have this reservoir, that is Rajon ki Bawdi. When we are talking about this Rajon, you must have heard this term, that is Raj Mistri. Okay, so here they are talking about that Raj Mistri, this which has come to this particular area and stayed in the vicinity of that particular reservoir, or you can say that particular water body. Okay, this was in news because of one particular mission, that was mission Amrit Sarovar Jal Dharovar Sarakshan project. Okay, so this thing become important, that is mission Amrit Sarovar. So this is a mission related to conversion or conservation of water bodies. Okay, so that is why this becomes important. And when we are talking about this conservation of water bodies, they have also taken some heritage water bodies, and something like this, that is Rajon ki Bawdi, has also been in that news because of that. Okay, so when we are talking about the archaeological you can say character of this particular Bawdi, that has you can say Indo-Islamic architecture. Okay, so that is why that is important. Other than that, when we are talking about who built it, so there was this person named Daulat Khan. Okay, so this Daulat Khan was a governor of Punjab in Lodi dynasty. Okay, when there was the reign of Ibrahim Lodi. Okay, he was governor of Punjab, and he is the person, because of the some tensions between Ibrahim Lodi and Daulat Khan, he has invited Babur to attack on India. Okay, and he has said that if he attacks on India, there will be some kind of treaty between these two, and Babur has said that he will make him the you can say a king or something of Punjab region. Okay, but the thing is, Babur has some other plans, so he has annexed the Punjab area as well, and he did not get anything. But the thing is, he is the person who has built in 1516, he has built this particular place, that is Rajon ki Bawdi. So let's talk about that. Rajon ki Bawdi, a complex of step well that also comprise a mosque within with a chhatri, that is, you can say, dome shaped platform or pavilion is there. Okay, so that is there is a chhatri from where you can see this particular area. So we have this step well, and then we have this chhatri over there. Okay, so it is situated 400 meters south of Adam Khan's tomb, so that is important. And the water reservoir means to serve the needs of mason was built in the Ibrahim Lodi area by the distinguished nobleman, that is Daulat Khan, and he was the person who has invited Babur. Okay, so that is important for you, this particular paragraph, that he is from the you can say a nobleman of Lodi dynasty or Ibrahim Lodi, and then he has built this particular place for needs of the masons, or you can say these Raj Mistris living nearby that particular area. Okay, the name Rajon comes from the mason who were living in at the Bawali and using its water. Okay, they were called Raj Mistri, so that is why it is called Rajon ki Bawdi. Okay, in 20th century, when people from different parts of Uttar Pradesh, Haryana started shifting to Mehrauli, it is somehow it has become an area, or you can say ribbon development started in that area, and that is this particular premise is the result of that. Okay, and Daulat Khan was the governor of Punjab in the era of Ibrahim Lodi. This man was also the person who invited Babur to invade India. Babur promised him that if he wins, Khan will be given Punjab to rule. Okay. However, Babur has other plans. Daulat Khan was later sent to exile, where he passed away. Okay, so that is what about Daulat Khan. Okay, so there is this historical perspective attached to it, and then when there is this perspective, that is Rajon ki Bawdi and why this was important, and then there is this current perspective, that is Mission Amrit Sarovar, and wherein we are talking about reviving this particular area. Okay, so all these things we have discussed. If you want to, you can give it a read to this particular place, which is already discussed. Now that is Rajon ki Bawdi, that is from your art and culture point of view, it is important. Now Modi Macron at Jaipur Shobha Yatra. So before 26th Republic Day celebration or the parade, Mr. President of France, Emmanuel Macron, he has come to India, and then they have gone for a visit to Jaipur, and they have had a Shobha Yatra over there, or you can say a road show over there. Okay, so in that area they have talked about Jantar Mantar, Hawa Mahal, they have visited Amer Fort, all these areas. He have visited the market as well. So that signifies that how our relations are cordial with France, how it is important for us to go for people to people connect with France. Okay, other than that, we have this strategic partnership, we will be talking about that, and this is the 6th time France president has come to as a chief guest to our Republic Day celebration. Okay, so that is why you can say that how cordial France and India's relations are. When we are talking about this particular visit, Macron's visit is unique and reciprocal gesture involving visit by the head of states on successive national days. The Prime Minister of India visited France on its national day, or you can say the Bastille parade, which has happened in 2023. Okay, so even our PM has gone to their Bastille Day parade, and now they will be reciprocating the same thing. Earlier it was supposed to be USA President John Biden, but because of some schedule issue he could not come, and then President of France came as a chief guest at our Republic Day celebration. With France, we have a special relationship, milestone year of 25th anniversary of our strategic partnership. As I told you, India and France has celebrated 25th years of partnership. This particular partnership started in 1998. Okay, strategic partnership between India and France started in 1998, and since then now we have celebrated 25th anniversary. Okay, and now it was launched in 26th of January of 1998, as I told you. Okay, strategic partnership, that was the first ever in for India among the Western countries. That is why it is important, because this is the first time India has gone for strategic partnership with any kind of Western countries. Okay, so we have this defense, security, civil, nuclear patterns, and then space communications, and there are various principal pillars of strong India-France relationship. And then when we are talking about Indo-Pacific region, we have strong Indo-Pacific component attached to our relationship as well. Okay, then other than that, counter-terrorism, maritime security, climate change, renewable energy, sustainable development, all these things, digitization, cyber security, all these things are important pillars of our relationship. Okay, when we are talking about the changing world and the complex geopolitical environment, okay, so they have also talked about two-state solution. They have also talked about the issue in Gaza, in the Middle East. Okay, all these things has been discussed, and then they have also discussed the you can say cooperation in Indo-Pacific, situation in Red Sea, Israel, Hamas, and the war in Ukraine situations. Okay, Other than that, there was this explain section related to your India and France relations. Okay, so it explains the foreign policy and strategy when we are talking about India and France. So that particular article becomes, you can say, a ready-made answer for your mains. Okay, so you can take, not, you don't have to go for everything here. You can take just one fact from all these sections, and then you can make a good answer out of it. Okay, so they have started with the 1998, how presidents visit in 1998 Republic Day celebration, and then they have started their strategic partnership over there. And just after that, India has gone for the nuclear test. Most of the Western countries has put some kind of sanctions, economic sanctions on India after that. But France did not even condemn the, you can say, nuclear test by India. They have said that it is need of India right now. Okay, so ultimately France has always been a good partner, a good friend to India. Okay, so that becomes important, and since 1998 we have started our strategic partnership. Then we have gone for this issue of nuclear test, and afterwards also we have seen that India and France relations has been cordial. Okay, so that is one thing. After that, since then, it is sixth time France president has visited. Okay, all these things I have discussed. Okay, so you can give it a read to this particular thing, that how France has always been with us since 1998, and how it was the first strategic partnership when we are talking about Western countries. Okay, then 25th year of strategic partnership, we have talked about that. Okay, then major pillars of cooperation. Okay, so there are defense. When we are talking about Rafale jet, we have this defense partnership, and we have gone for the import of Rafale jet. Okay, and then we have this defense ministerial level visit, that is annual defense dialogue is there. Okay, so that is two facts you can extract from that. Then when we are talking about space related endeavors, also ISRO is in cooperation with France going for various projects. And then civil nuclear cooperation. Okay, so when this nuclear test has happened, okay, after that there was this sanctions. Okay, and then also in 2008 France has gone for the civil nuclear treaty with us. Okay, they have agreed for the pact for the first time. Okay, so all these things becomes important. And then there is this Jaitapur. So we have this nuclear power project at Jaitapur. Okay, so that is also in collaboration with the France. Okay, other than that, when we are talking about economic partnership, okay, more than 650 million US dollars, that is the FDI, foreign direct investment, we receive from France. Okay, and then when we are talking about the import and export, India exports nearly, you can say, some 3 billion US dollar, that is export of India to France, and import is, that is 2.63 billion or 36 billion. So you can say that with France we have this trade surplus. Okay, so that is also important. Then when we are talking about this digital infrastructure, so France and India is also working from some kind of UPI related infrastructure. Okay, so that is also important. Then when we are talking about education, we have student exchange programs. There are various students from India, they are going for France for their education. And then when we are talking about presence of Indian communities, nearly more than 1 lakh people are present in France. They are Indians. Okay, and then this tourism related partnership is there, and support for international forums. Okay, so when we are talking about our UNSC bit, France is with us. Okay, when we are talking about our NSD nuclear supply group bit, France is with us. Other than that, when we are talking about this MTCR regime, France has supported us. When we are talking about Australia group, France has supported us. When we are talking about Wassenaar agreement, France has supported us. So all these are important facts you can remember and tell how France has been a important partner when we are talking about support in international forums. Okay, so in this visit, what has happened, we have already seen in the previous article. So that is, you can say, you can take 1 or 2 facts from this article and make a good answer related to your India and France ties. Okay, now moving further. So why Turkey has finally bagged Sweden's NATO membership bid? Okay, so here you can see this area of Baltic, or you can say Scandinavian peninsula, we have this area. Okay, so now when we are talking about Sweden and Finland, they have shown interest to join NATO. after Russia-Ukraine war. Okay, earlier these countries has not faced any kind of war in like 2 centuries. They have not gone for any kind of alliances with or you can say they have not been part of NATO earlier. But after Russia-Ukraine war, and since they have this, you can say here, they have this boundary with Russia. Okay, so ultimately they have also shown interest in going for an alliance with NATO. Okay, but Turkey was against it, because they are saying that Sweden actually has this freedom of speech, and they are supporting some rebels or terrorist group which are working against the interest of Turkey. Okay, and they are saying certain things from Sweden. Okay, so that is why Turkey has been somehow skeptical about their membership. So here let's talk about it. Now, Sweden's attempts to join NATO cleared a major hurdle Tuesday after Turkey's parliament supported its membership. All existing members have to approve it. Turkey and Hungary had been opposing Sweden's entry for almost past 2 years. Okay. Now, why Sweden wants to join? As I told you, this is because of the Russia and Ukraine war. Okay. And then now when we are talking about why Turkey was changing, why Turkey changed its mind, because earlier, as I told you, there were some militant outfits, that is Kurdish militant outfit and Kurdish workers party. All these people are working, or you can say saying certain things from Sweden, and Sweden was saying that it is their freedom of speech. Okay, that is why Turkey was kind of skeptical about it. But now Sweden has recently tightened their anti-terrorism laws. Okay, and then they have lifted restriction on arms sale to Turkey. So these things has been in favor of Turkey, and in reciprocation to that, Turkey has said that they can also be part of NATO. Okay, so Turkey has now approved it. Here you can say US agreed to sell 40 F-16 fighter jets to Ankara, that is Turkey, and that is also, you can say, one incident which influenced Turkey's decision. Okay, what will Sweden bring to NATO? So now when we are talking about entry of Sweden, now you can say that once Sweden becomes the members of almost all the Baltic Sea coastline nations are part of, you can say, this NATO alliance except Russia. Okay, you know that inherently when we are talking about NATO, that is against Russia. Okay, or earlier it was against USSR. So that is why you can say that all the Baltic Sea coastline will be part of NATO except for Russia. So that is important thing for NATO as well. Okay, so that is one you can say development that has happened in international relations. These are, whatever countries are in blue, these are countries of NATO. There are some 31 members. You don't have to remember that, because this keeps changing time to time. Okay, and there are certain countries like Sweden and Finland, they are supposed to be part of NATO. Even Ukraine and Bosnia, Herzegovina and Georgia, they are also trying to get the membership of NATO. Okay, so these are aspiring countries, and these are the member of NATO countries right now. Okay, so you just need to have the idea when we are talking about Baltic Sea, or when we are talking about the Baltic countries. See here, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, Denmark, all these countries are somehow members of NATO. And now when we are talking about Sweden and Finland, when they become the member, only Russia is the country which is Baltic country which is not member of NATO, or which is a bit obvious, because this particular alliance is against USSR and Russia. Then Arambai Tengol. Okay, so this is a, you can say, extremist outfit in Manipur. Okay, belonging to Meitei community. Okay, so there are two Meitei organizations which are basically hardliners, not extremists. You can say hardliner organizations. So that is, one is Arambai Tengol, and second is Meitei Lipun. Okay, so this particular organization has summoned few representative of people to visit them, or you can say a few members of legislature to visit them. Okay, they have put forward certain demands. Okay, so now this group has started in 2020. Okay, and they have started as a cultural outfit, but they have converted into a hardliner Meitei organization. Okay, and they have that is in response to that Meitei cookies clash that happened. Okay, we have seen that Manipur has always been in the news for various reasons. Okay, so that is one of the reasons for the uprising of this particular outfit here. Okay, so that was earlier to you can say they were accusing or they were accused to target Naga communities over there. Okay, as I told you, in Manipur hold on. As I told you, in Manipur, there are various ethnic groups which are fighting for their identity over there. Okay, so there is Kukis, Nagas, Metis, Zomis, Mizos, all these communities are there, and there are certain clash going on. When we are talking about this organization, that is Arambai Tengol, that is targeting or accused to target Naga communities over there. Okay, so why this group has summoned the political representatives? They have to discuss certain things related to the ST status of cookies. They said that this particular status should be removed. Okay, Metis should be given this status. Okay, second thing was related to suspension of operation. This suspension of operation, or you can say SOO agreement, which has been signed between state government, central government, and the communities, cookie communities over there, and they have said that you have to suspend this operation because these cookies are not fulfilling the obligation related to it. They are still going for certain violence. Okay, so here are the demands. You can see delisting cookies from the scheduled tribe list, deportation of the refugees to the camps in the Mizoram, border fencing, replacement of the Assam Rifle with the another paramilitary force, and revoking suspension of the suspension of operation agreement. As I told you, these two are the important demands. Other than that, they are also talking about fencing of the border over there, as we have seen in the last few weeks as well, that Home Ministry is also saying that all the border at the India and Myanmar border would be fenced. Okay, so that is also one of the demand. They are saying that you should replace the Assam Rifles, which is a central force which is deployed over there. They are saying that you should replace this particular force with some other paramilitary force. Okay, these are some demands which they have put forward to these political representatives. Okay, so you have to remember this, that Arambai Tengol is an hardliner Methi organization. Okay, now there was this incident in Red Sea, you can say Western Arabian Sea, wherein there was this you can say vessel, that is Marshall Island flagged vessel, oil tanker was there. Okay, Merlin Luanda. So this is the name of the vessel, you don't have to remember that, but the thing is that particular vessel was also attacked in that particular region, and India has responded quickly in that regard. But I have taken this particular article just to show that what is the position of Marshall Island. Okay, when we are talking about Pacific, we have various group of islands, we call them as Oceania, and there is this Micronesia, Polynesia. Okay, so when we are talking about this Micronesia, we have this Marshall Islands over there. Okay, so this is the international date line. Okay, so in the west of that we have this Marshall Islands. Okay, other important articles are this is the Kiribati, then we have Fiji Island. Okay, French Polynesia. All these islands are important for you. Let's say that is Fiji, Tuvalu, Kiribati, Marshall Islands, and French Polynesia. So you need to remember that these are in the vicinity of international date lines. That is why we have taken that. Okay, so now moving further, study on Mars rover data confirms lack sediments on the planet. Okay, so there was this NASA's Mars rover, that is Perseverance rover, which was there, and it has collected some data which is saying that there are some kind of sediments which are deposited in a particular area, that is area of Zerezo crater. Okay, how to pronounce that you can check, but that is, for me it is Zerezo crater. Okay, so there are evidence of water sediments, or you can say sediments which has been deposited in the vicinity of this crater. Okay, which is to be said that earlier some some years down the line it has been a lake, or you can say a water lake. Okay, and water has brought some kind of sediments which has been deposited in that particular area. So in this area you can find some kind of delta, river delta like depositions. Okay, so that is why this becomes important. So this rover is suggesting that, or the data is suggesting that the portion of the Mars there are some sediments which suggest that there was existence of water. Okay, or even microbacterial life can be there. Okay, so here you can say that portion of Mars were once covered in water and may have had microbial life. Okay, So that is important thing. So now for our further exploration to Mars, they can go for even further investigation and the exploration in that regard, so that they can find some kind of evidence of water, or you can say some kind of microbial life over there. Okay, so that is important. That name, that is NASA's Perseverance Mars rover. Okay, it was sent in 2021. So that is important from your prelims point of view as well. Now there are two articles for your own read, that is related to Army launches Operation Sarva Shakti, and it is on the lines of 2003's Operation Sarp Vinash. Now I will not go into details of this because I have discussed both of the you can say Sarp Vinash as well as Sarva Shakti in details in our previous section. So you can go through that. Otherwise, you can read this article because it is given in the simple language. When we are talking about this Sarp Vinash in 2003, when we are talking about this Rajouri and Poonch area or across the Pir Panjal area, there was this terrorist activities over there, and with the help of locals, that is the communities of Gurjars and Bakarwals, this particular operation was started by the defense forces over there, and they have sanitized the area, and because of which nearly some 15 years of peace was restored in that particular region. Okay, so since 2005 we have not seen any kind of attack in that particular area until 2020. Okay, so you can say that there was a peace of nearly 15 years, and we have discussed that why this particular attacks are now on the rise. Okay, and now Indian Army has gone for Operation Sarva Shakti to eliminate these terrorist elements from this area again. Okay, so these two things can be important for you. So now you can remember that these two operations are related to your LOC related areas, or you can say Rajouri and Poonch areas in Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, now moving further, there is another article that is related to our constitution, since it was Republic Day. So when we are talking about our constitution, or you must have heard the name of Nandlal Bose. He was the calligrapher of the our constitution, and then we note have this our calligrapher was Prem Bihari Narayan Raizada. And when we are talking about Nandlal Bose, he was the person who has somehow made some kind of ornamentation for the constitution. Okay, so when we are talking about constitution, various sections or various parts of the constitution has various images, various portraits in that in our original copy of the constitution, that has been very well ornamented by this person, that is Nandlal Bose, and the calligraphy of the constitution has been done by Mr. Prem Bihari Narayan Raizada. Okay, and Shanti Niketan has you can say played important role, because Nandlal Bose was from Shanti Niketan. Okay, so now when we are talking about these portraits etc., they are related to our country's legacies, that is from Ram to Buddha, Akbar to Gandhi, and all the artworks are depicting certain things. So when we are talking about Indus Valley civilization, so we have this bull from the Indus Valley civilization, they have the portrait of that bull. So all these things are attached to different parts. So now your job is to read this article and make note that which part has which kind of picture. Okay, and let's say for your fundamental rights, for your part 1, okay, that is union and its territories, all those important parts are having certain pictures attached to that, so you can make a note out of it. Okay, so if I would suggest, if you can do it and post it in the comment box, that would be very good. If you are a serious aspirant, you should do that. Otherwise you can just read this article. Okay, so that is a very interesting, and it will it is a rich in information article for you. Okay, now last section, that is your practice question for your prelims. Operation Sarv Shakti and Sarv Vinas are in news. They are related to option A, Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden area. Option B is Manipur region. Option C, India Myanmar border. Option D is Jammu and Kashmir region. Okay, so you have to attempt this question and answer in the comment box. With that, I would like to wrap up the session. If you have not subscribed the channel, please subscribe the channel. Thank you.